Yo everyone, welcome back to another stream. This is 3 days in a row I'm live, so I'm not making as many videos right now because I'm live as much as I am, because I feel like I'm more communicating with the community when I'm live. Today we will test out a few decks we haven't tested that much with. We will test out with the Tera Box and we will test out some Gardevoir. Personally, I think both decks are super good. But I do think, in my opinion, Tera Box is better. So we will test both because I want to give like an honest result. So we are just taking deck lists from Limitless and then maybe change them down the road. Again, this is not decks I have tested that much with personally. Oh, Ditto is expensive. We don't have that. Do I have... Oh crap, maybe we can't test these. What else do I need? Okay, I need nothing else, so it's just like a few cards. Exit. We will also take a Gardevoir list. I know some people are annoyed over Gardevoir, but Gardevoir is a extremely good deck, and piloted by Isaiah Bradner, we should not be surprised that it performed so well as it did. Isaiah Bradner is a really talented player, one I personally look up to a lot, so... do I not? Oh my god. I only have one? Crap. And again, I need the Lily's Clefairy. Okay, we will test these, but first we have to play something else for a few games. Guess we just go with the King Abadoo until we have what we need for Gardevoir and Tera Box testing. I think Tera Box has a good potential. I don't think it's the strongest decks we are gonna see in a while. I think right now we are gonna look into a Psychic Dark type meta with some Dragapults here and there. Todd played a Dragapult at an AIC. I don't know what version of Dragapult, I haven't looked through his deck, but that's probably something we're gonna take a look at some point today. That's Todd's Dragapult. Because Dragapult is also one of the like super strong decks that you should never underestimate. I also think Cynthia's Garchomp will see some play, because it seems pretty decent. So yeah, we have a lot of decks that will see a lot of play. Is this a grass deck? Oh yikes, don't like to get that up as a start, but it's fine honestly. Yeah, this is the new Toadstool, Toad and Ogerpon deck. Probably has some energy, or he will find the Squawk. Okay, he has energy or Carmine in hand then. Energy, okay. And see, that's why I play a lot of different decks. That's also so I can like start to slowly understand, okay, what do they want to do? How will they proceed? What can I expect to happen? Like I know specifically this deck plays a ton of, that deck plays a ton of research. Okay, that's good. Do we have any Pidgeotto? We do have a Pidgeotto, okay. That means we can do something different. I can find Earthen Vessel and Evo. Discard my Pidgeotto to find 2 energies. evolution. Because I know I have Pidgeotto, I can now evo into Pidgeot next turn. And the good thing about his decks is they are pretty fragile. And I am not weak to grass, so it's not that big of a deal that he play grass types. I mean, it can become an issue, but it's not really a big issue here. Okay, so he didn't Iono. I actually expected him to Iono. That would have been better for him, because I have Pidgeot in hand. But because he didn't Iono, I'm now getting Pidgeot out next turn. And he need E-switch and hand attach for a KO here. So I think my plan is to evolve into Pidgeot. And then unfast stamp. Oh, never mind. No need to unfast stamp here. Quick search for... Let's take the research. Because I don't need Blood Moon that badly right now. So it's better to just dump the hand. But do is fine. But do item locks him, so it's makes him unable to do as many plays, spread as much energy around, do as much damage. And hopefully next turn I can start moving some energies away from his Toadstool. This is one of the few dark type decks that is not weak to grass, which means I actually have a pretty big advantage here. Also because I have energy disruption and he needs to use Ogre-Pawns. See, damage. It ticks slowly, but it ticks, and that's the thing that makes this good. Next turn I find a rare candy and a Gengar. I'm probably my last handheld fan. Set up my second Gengar. I know the title is a little misleading right now, but it actually still shows the meta and the current format. Okay. Let's do something else then. Let's show him the combo pieces. See, that's why I have Giovanni in the deck. For plays like that. Now we find Honda. Put down Honda. And move an energy. Oh, right, there's nothing to move, I forgot. Again, this is why I think this deck is super good. That's mainly because it has so many tools, and it works well against Gardevoir. Has some issues with Dragapult sometimes, but... I think that also comes down to how I play it. I don't think he can find a way to one-shot me here. Yeah, concede. And hopefully that clears some daily so we can actually get the last few pieces we need for one of the decks. I do really want to play the Tera Box and the Gardevoirs to actually show like the decks that I intend on. another Ethan Toho. Don't I have anything I can... Actually, I might be able to get what I need. Ah, wrong button. Shroud Fable. That deck is impossible. This one we need... How much to afford? The Ditto is what makes it pretty expensive. Blood Moon, I just take this version and I got it. I'm also wondering how important is Lily's Clefairy actually? Let's try without Lily's Clefairy and add a second Pikachu. What else use Saigon? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I lose some tools in removing the Lily's Clefairy, but... Oh, remember to change deck. What's up, LEPTCG? How are we today? Right now I'm just testing a few decks, so actually getting more like into the meta, learning a little bit better. Not that I will go to any big tournaments soon, but I still think it's nice to like get good into the meta. Okay, that's... sure. Give me a second and I'm ready. I will finish this game and then I will take a game with you. Do you want me to play my main deck or do you want me to play any of these new decks I'm testing around with? Again, I should just have played Gengar here. Gengar would have destroyed this. Because my main deck is Gengar at the moment, but I'm also testing against a lot of decks, so I'm getting more into the meta. And like learning what is the play style of every decks and stuff like that. Okay, I think I will play Gengar then. I feel more confident in my Gengar than I do in any other deck, so... Okay. Yeah, this is the Poison Calodon deck, which in my opinion is a bit weird it even exists, but oh well. You mill yourself so hard in the early game that when you actually get to a point where you need to be ready to play strong boards, you are so far behind. That's my opinion on the Poison Calodon. I don't like it. Yeah, see? Now he commits all his resources into just getting the poison up. And he has no hand size. And he probably doesn't even have the last piece he needs. Or maybe he does. No, he doesn't. See? Let's take 2 grass for now. Unless just Iono. Again, jamming tower doesn't matter too much here. we transform it. What do we find? We find Pikachu. And in turn. Pikachu, he can't one-shot, so even if he starts to poison ticket, I'm still in a favorable spot. And because I have double Hoot Hoot, or double Hoot Hoot into double Noctowl, I can actually set up pretty well next turn. Assembly Alloy, only one, he had Sedge one from hand, get it into active and starts hitting me, right? Or am I completely wrong? Binding Mochi so you can poison it. Earthen Vessel, right? Kirin, yeah. So Steel, does he have the poison as well? That's a big question. If he has a poison piece, this could become an issue. And Zorag is also one of those decks I think is interesting. I think without the Manatan, the Dragapult matchup will be pretty tough for you. Yes, I would like to use Geoseeker to find Crispin and Sparkling Crystal. So I need Grass and Steel. So now Pikachu is up and running. What I would say is if you should probably think about adding with a Manatan line if you want to play, like be able to beat the... The thing is, the Manatan, if you get it up early, you can get a double knockout on his Dracloaks. That's the main thing that makes me instantly think the Manatan is needed for that deck. That's for the Dracoloak line. So that's why I think you should add it back. I see a reason for cutting it, because it feels weird to run with it, but I think it's much needed in the deck. The thing that makes Zorak seems really weird to play is the Night Joker ability, which I definitely get why sometimes can make people not like that deck. But I think you need some more damage because you cannot one-shot Dragapult unless it hits you first. But when you are so low on HP that the second Dragapult will one-shot you. Okay, I will remove Rotom. So that's why my concern is that's actually the Dragapult matchup has some unfavorable situations you will come in. No matter how you play it and no matter what way you build it. Dragapult has a lot of tools, but it's actually not... Either you need to play with Monkey Dories or you need to play with the Manatans, I think. We can try I can try a copy towards Dragapult and we can play the matchup if you want to. Okay, so I'm poisoned here, which means no Fizz, which is annoying, but still fine. That's the thing Dragapult does most of the time. That's the multi-prices, which is also what is the big thing I'm looking into when I'm looking at the matchup. That is, how can I keep up with its multi-price turns? Noctowl here. The thing you need to think about, if you want to keep up with the multi-price turns, you need to take out his bench Dracloaks. That's actually the big issue. That's not his active, that's his bench Dracloaks. Okay, so how will I play this? Probably this into retreat, into Sop. Because next turn it takes 10 more when it gets my turn, so it's at 50. I attack it for 10, for 20, and then he doesn't get the Fizz. And I will still survive. And he cannot retreat it. Or I could just take up Latias and start like retreat locking that, but I should probably just retreat lock something. That's probably my best odds here because he cannot retreat, so Latias is useless here. So Fizz is probably my biggest target here. But yeah, you need to think about how can you get an advantage into the Dragapult. Dragapult has a super good matchup into most decks because it spreads damage around. Which is actually also my main issue with Dragapult into most decks I'm building. Which is why I'm like, okay, if it can't beat Dragapult, then be it. Let's pray we don't meet any. Because you can't focus only on one deck. You will always have a bad matchup into one deck. For example, this deck has a bad matchup into anything that can stall it out, honestly. Anything where you can't get the tempo and you need to sacrifice your Tera item early, you have a bad matchup. For example, in this situation here, I'm dead. Next thing I send up is probably my Ogre Pawn. Which is not able to be a sponge, so I need my Blood Moon here to come up and slap him. Yeah, I know. That's also why I think Zorak is actually not that good at the moment. Personally, I wish Zorak was better than it is. But I just think Dragapult is too tough of a matchup for Zorak to really be good. Take away to Hoot Hoot so I can get my some way to get them back. And we retreat. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have, yeah. Concede. This one is lost. See, this is one of the decks that actually causes some trouble for Tera Box. I don't think Tera Box is as broken as people make it seems to be. Like for example, I played Gengar, which on paper doesn't look as good as I think it is. And it's not getting credit for being that good. I personally think Gengar is an amazing deck. Okay, sure. Can I get enough if I buy a single pack of Shrouded Fable? I almost have a complete Master Set of Shrouded Fable, so that's why it's my go-to if I need credit. Like if you look, all the basics, all the EXs. I only need special illustration rares and I have most of them. If you go under profile, info mouse TV. But yeah, personally, I think one of the big issues in the current format is also that people is focusing so much into Dragapult. Actually, I will try like look at Dragapult and then copy Tort's list so we can test the matchup. Is that okay with you, buddy? I am not a Dragapult player myself, so yeah, I have that one from. And that one is from Journey Together, so I need to purchase that. Oh. Oh, Brock Scouting. I don't have that. Crap. I can only afford one. Wait, what ace pick? Oh, Neo? Huh. I will have to cut one for probably Nest. So Tort's Dragapult is a toolbox Dragapult. Have you sent me a friend request? Did I even select the deck? No, I didn't. I can also send my in-game name in the chat. Should I just send my in-game name in the chat? There you go. Well, I will make a Discord server for my YouTube channel so we can share deck lists and help each other with them. I haven't made it yet, but I will make it soon. I think I will, like this week. Also because I'm starting to get quite a big following. I'm actually almost at 500, which I'm impressed by. I didn't realize I was at 490 followers at this point. So, I will make a Discord server. It's not up yet, but I will figure the list out as we play. So no need to worry about that. Oh, you are Blaziken. Perfect. Probably have to do like this and this. It doesn't say you're online though. Did I press something wrong? Why can't I see you online in the game? That's weird. I can't see you online in the game, which is pretty weird. Are you online, Ali PTG? Did I press something wrong? Okay. So we can just take the game and see how it goes, and I can comment on the way, and then you can go into the chat afterwards, and we can discuss it afterwards. So I'm not a Dragon Ball player, but I know how Dragon Ball works because I have practiced with people like Jesper Eriksen and stuff like that. Played against them in my local area. Because I'm from Denmark, so Jesper is one of those I've practiced with. Oscar as well is one of those I've played quite a decent amount against. The Venerable family I've played a little bit against. So like I have a decent amount of knowledge about how this matchup usually should go. And this could be the first mistake. Oh, yikes. Let me say it like this. He has to win in this scenario. He has to win. Christ's sake. For crying out loud. When you have to use an Ultra Ball and discard a Dragon Ball just to get a 3P into play, you know it's bad. Can we actually hit 500 subs today during the stream? That would be insane. We are actually pretty close to it. We are at 491. What is going on at the moment? I would be so excited for 500 subs. Okay, so scratch. Artisan actually helps me out a ton. We Artisan for a second 3P. Then we Iono. Probably also helps him out a bit, but that's fine. Let's actually not care about Badoo. All we care about here is find my Drecloak. So I can start using Drecloaks to actually draw some cards. Poffin, that's good. And end turn. Okay, so Holucha is dead here. Because he copies Reshiram's attack and take a KO here, that's for sure. That's like the only red play here, that is to take out Holucha to get a prize lead. Or actually, he could also TM Evo, so he has 3 Zoroarks. The thing is here, because he's focusing mainly on the Zoroark line, he only has one attack to copy, which I can punish by dragging up Reshiram. Okay, yeah. And that's one of the cards I think thought about adding to counter Tera Box. We do this. And see, now we get into a position where we keep drawing and setting up. Oh, and there's the counter catcher. Take up Reshiram. Use Dragapult. And because we only put 60 damage onto it, we survive the next attack no matter what, even if he finds a way to get back Reshiram. We might only take one prize, but we put him in a bad position. So that's why I think that this matchup is like kinda tough for him. No matter how we put it, it will always be a difficult matchup to beat Zoroark, beat Dragapult with Zoroark, if you run a pure Zoroark. If he run the Darmanitan version, he can drag up Dragcloak, take out both Dragcloak and Reapy, so you only have Dragapults. I know he discards his energy, but he can get him back with End's PP up. He can then start thinking about, okay, how do I get... And if I attack it directly, it will one-shot me next turn, which is why I didn't attack it directly. Because if he attacks me now, he cannot one-shot me, which is the big thing. And I have Monkey Doris on bench, so I can deal with some damage. He only has one trade, so if his draw is not that insane right now. Which is why I'm a little bit iffy about this matchup. And if he played like into Gengar, it would be even worse. Because then I would just slam all the energy onto Reshiram and he would just be like, okay, I can't do anything. Because Gengar deals just so little that it's not in range. So the first hit I tank, after that I start mess with him. Yeah, that's fine. Will he attack it as well? Because if he attacks it, he makes a mistake. It will be a mistake here to attack. What you do there by dragging it up is actually fine. That's a decent play. One of the few ways he can catch a lead here. He will attack. Okay, that's a mistake. I will probably chat with him about that afterwards. So Iono, because this hand I don't need anything from. That's exactly what I needed. Because now I retreat. Use Adrenabrain. Move 20. Also looking at some cards because I can. Iono is always nice to have on hand. And an Ultra Ball for good measurements. Because then I can start finding another Dracloak and... And now we are at the spot where there's no turning back for him. His Zorak is dead. If he deals any damage to me, I one-shot. Because it just drag up this other Zorua. Which is why I think this matchup is so unfavorable. If he scratch here, he lose instantly. If he puts down a Festivity and scratch, he lose. He needs to find a way to actually get rid of my Dragapult here without me having any way to answer it. So that would look like an unfair stamp, counter catcher, or a Devo or something. Yeah. Yeah, that matchup is just so tough on him that it feels kind of unfair, in my opinion. That's just how I look at it. The matchup is super unfavorable and so unfair. And this is not even with Dragapult Dusknoir line, this is just... Yeah, you see. Also, another thing, I actually have a Gengar deck a Zorak deck I'm working on. And I run a 1/1 Diamantine line, so you don't need a fake line of it, and then I run Cleffa as well. Because you don't need to delay them as much, you just need to be able to find your Zoraks. What I thought about doing is actually swap my Devo out with the Evo. Because I think that would work better. Because then I have a little bit more tempo. So it doesn't definitely need the tempo and the damage from the Diamantine. And also a Diamantine puts just enough damage onto a Dragapult if you have to use it for a Dragcloak Dragapult. But Dragapult is actually in danger from most attacks. And if you move 30 away from your Zorak onto Dragapult, you can actually one-shot it with Reshiram's second attack, which is also a huge advantage. So it's not that your deck is not good, it's just Dragapult is too strong. In my opinion, Dragapult feels too strong. That was also why that we saw the Ricky Draco V-Star just running away with everything. But I would like to see how your Zorak compare into my Gengar. So far it feels like Tera Box is so underwhelming because you have one energy and one sparkling crystal. Yeah, 1/1 line sounds fine. Should we try the matchup again? Again, it's a tough matchup. I don't blame you for finding it hard to deal with. Dragapult is just insanely good. So like, it is tough to deal with Dragapult. And everyone knows it. Like, there's nobody saying Dragapult is easy. The Team Rocket deck I also think will be insanely strong. Not this version of it. This version is kind of shitty. But the finished version of the Team Rocket deck will be absolutely insane. What can I actually buy to get a lot of points quickly? This deck is not gonna do much. I'm thinking about what deck will give me enough points to actually make some fun decks. Maybe the Dragapult EX deck. Yeah, this deck will give you a ton of points if you buy it. So will the Zard. The Zard I bought quite a few of to get points. And then we get into older stuff, so. Back into these. But yeah, it is a tough matchup. Dragapult feels way too strong at the moment, and there's no way to deny that. Even if you ask every big player, they say Dragapult is a big threat. I think Gengar is one of the few options that is to counter it. Again, I can try showcase a Gengar game here. And also I think that's a little bit about how you sequence your deck. Because you only have one Reshiram down, which made you super open for hits. Because when I just took the Reshiram out of the equation, it was like, oh well, fuck. Now you couldn't do anything. You need to be super aware of how you take prizes, when you take prizes, what you take when you take prizes. Let's just put Blood Moon up. I can afford to lose 2 prizes here. Okay, so a Leafeon deck. Or a Eevee deck, maybe. Okay, so I got an energy, that's fine. Look at the bottom of the Mojo Dojo tournament. When was the Mojo Dojo? Oh, that is Mojo's Dojo. Very bottom. It's not to be any kind of evil or anything, but that deck will not work. There's quite a few reasons for that. First off, you don't utilize the strongest part about the Ensorak, which is the attacks it has options to use. But also you have some supporters that is not doing anything for you. Xerosix I would cut, same with Giacomo. Deduction Kit I would Deduction Kit I will also cut. I like the Pokemon League headquarters though. That's a nice addition. That's like one of the few things I think that actually makes a ton of sense, which I should probably use, but it isn't. But besides that, Legacy Energy is a bad ace pick for Zorak. I would swap that out with Unfast Amp, without a doubt. I would also add the 1/1 Damanaton line instead of the Xerosix and Giacomo. Cut 1 boss and 1 counter catcher. You don't need 3 counter catchers. 2 is plenty. Then I would probably also... Yeah, there's a lot of things you could do different in the deck. I will probably like make a rundown on how I would change it after this game, because that, I mean, the deck in itself is fine, but it's just when you want to make it a Zorak deck, you need to have some specific things in it. Yeah, but Raging Bull is like one of the specific matchup which personally I wouldn't take for it. This deck is not tech for Raging Bolt at all, my Gengar deck. all the tournaments I have been to, yeah, you see a big amount of Raging, but it's quite a few Raging Bolt players. But the thing is, Raging Bolt is an easy deck. So 9 out of 10 people don't know how to actually play the game when they play Raging Bolt. And that's not something I say to play be evil or anything, but they don't know how to actually play a Raging Bolt correctly. Which is why I personally don't take for it. I get you a reasoning for taking with the Legacy Energy, but I would take Unfast Stamp instead because it helps you in so many matchups, where the Legacy Energy helps you in one. And also because you have the Blood Moon, Raging Bolt shouldn't be an issue. I mean, it's fair enough if it is, but it just shouldn't be. I would probably... Give me a second. Giovanni. Put that into a hand. See, my immediate thought is that you would beat it with Blood Moon in the late game and Pecharunt. Pecharunt deals 240 after 2 prizes. You would probably add 1 energy switch for some tempo. Black Belt's training make you able to one-shot Ogre with Zorak, with Reshiram Copy and 1 Black Belt. So the way you beat it... Actually, I can... try show you. We can try to take a matchup, and I can explain how you could have, what you could have done different to actually win the matchup. Because it's easier if you play the matchup to learn how it works, what could have changed the outcome. This game I'm most likely losing because I am just drawing dead onto dead onto dead. Okay, this. Yeah, you one-shot them, so that's why I'm like, why do you take heavily for it? I'm not playing One Piece, no. I am only a Pokemon player. That's the only card game I'm playing. Okay, so we find Pidgeot. Yeah, but you don't need to come back. You can gust around it. That's what I have found out every single time I take that matchup. It's so easy to gust around that matchup that you don't need to worry too much about the prices. At least in my opinion. I might be wrong, I might have a hot take on that matchup because I have played it so much into Raging Bolt that I know what to do every time I see a Raging Bolt. If somebody flips over a Raging Bolt, I know, okay, my immediate thought is how can I trap them with something they don't like to have in the active. That's where my immediate thought is. How can I buy myself enough time to get big KOs? I know it makes it harder when they have Latias, but use Latias as a target. If it's the Hoot Hoot line, make sure they can't use Hoot Hoot for search. There's so many ways to get around that matchup that is insane. And that's why I don't get how you should struggle in it, because for me it seems like a pretty easy matchup most of the time. But no, Slick Rigger, don't play One Piece. Like, your immediate thought when you see somebody flipping over a Raging Bolt should be, okay, What options do they have? How can I deny them options? Like for example here, okay, I'm far behind. How can I buy myself some actual shot at winning this? Okay, what do we have? We have boss. Okay, maybe I can ghost something. I still have my Gengar. Okay, I have one rare candy. Maybe I can make a second Gengar. That should be your immediate thought process. That is, how can I win? What is their weaknesses? How can I identify them, and how can I flip that on them? For example, here I know Blood Moon one-shots. Okay, can I find any way to make sure I have Blood Moon and energy in hand next turn? Maybe. Okay, how can I do that? Well, I can maybe find some energy off Pidgeot and then make some switcheroos. Okay, let's see, where can we take it from there? Your thought process should always be, what is their weaknesses? And Raging Bolt has a glaring weakness. There we go. Was there any Raging Bolt in this tournament? Probably was. Let's see. Top players. And also see how little Raging Bolt there is. There's not even a single Raging Bolt in the top 10, 20. Like, I would not care about Raging Bolt. Personally, 99% of the time you can outplay them. I know sometimes you can't, but then you take the loss sometimes. That's how it is. If it's a deck you can 99% of the time outplay, outplay it. Don't focus on taking for it. That's how I think about it. Like that, I know I have a little bit weird way to think about matchups and stuff. But as with this deck here, I noticed there's a few matchups. Okay, I'm screwed if I need them. Okay, how can I tech for that? I mean, this matchup up is not easy, but I'm like, okay, how can I make it more bearable? How can I make this into a favorable position? Well, we can do some shenanigans with energy. Okay, what energy do I need to focus on? Okay, fire energy. And that this is then an extremely bad scenario is the other part of this, but I should be able to find a way through this. How much damage is on this? 10. Onto Noctowl. And see, now I find a different way, because there is one card he doesn't know I have. Because I do play Giovanni. Well, what does Giovanni do that is so good? Well, it messes up with this energy. And it lets me attach an extra. One more. Move 30. And see, now I'm actually finding a way back into the game, even though I'm so far behind that I shouldn't. Because next turn, I get this back from the active, out of the active. I get in something that I can use Devo with. Okay, now we have Devoed him, so that means he loses two Pokemons. It's always about the price race. How can you win it? I think he found a way though. Yeah. Because he will attach. And attach one from hand. Little too late. Yeah. I found my lines too late. But in general, always think about what is your opponent's good thing, what is the issue they have in that deck. Like if they have an issue with draw engine, okay, how can I make them not able to draw cards? Raging Bolt has the issue that it needs stuff into the discard pile. Okay, so that's a big concern for you, Raging Bolt. Maybe you add a... what is it called? The grass type. Why is it? You add the Toadstool line. 1/1 Toadstool line with Slime Mold Colony. That makes him unable to get cards out of his discard pile. That's also a way you can go around it. I don't know, remember when I last saw big Raging Bolt results? Tournaments. Actually, decks. Okay, that's Raging Bolt here. They performed decent in New Orleans. Let's open them as an image and look at the deck. What weaknesses does this deck have? Well, you could look, they have Latias. Okay, Latias is actually a weakness for them. Because if you KO it, it's 2 prices, you deal double damage to it. So if you have a Binding Mochi, you can actually use the Manitance attack, KO Latias, take down something on the bench, and now you are ahead in the price race. Because that gives you 3 prices. That's one of the things, okay. What else? They use Mew. Mew you can also one-shot, okay. They have a 3/2 line. What if I nullify that discard pile? Because then they can't get back their used Raging Bolts. So that's like some of the things I look into when I look at decks. And this is the main way you build Raging Bolt right now. So it's very slim Raging Bolt line, Oakapon line, a 3/2. That's not that many. You run Mew. Mew can be a target. Latias, that can be a target. Okay. They have Pheasantipity. You can pretty easily one-shot that. That's just a Binding Mochi. So Raging Bolt, you should be just focus on the Reshiram's Oracle. And then just run with that. That's how I will go around the matchup. Does it make sense, Ali? And that's also why I don't think the Legacy energy is needed for this matchup. Because there's so many ways you can gust around it and actually get it favorable. I would understand if you said Dragapult. I understand when you said Dragapult is tough, because Dragapult is a very weird deck that can be played in so many different ways. Has a just as good draw engine as Zorak, if not better. Because Dragapult you can take what you need. Well, that's why I talk about the maybe at the 1/1 line of the Toadstool. Or you could actually also, that might sound weird, but you could also use Team Rocket's Watchtower. I would probably add this instead. That card will flip the matchup so much on its head that you don't believe it. It seems like a cheat code. And I don't understand if you're not playing it nowadays. Pidgeot? Screwed. Noctowl? Screwed. Like anything that is normal type that plays abilities? Screwed. Insurrect. Yeah, you see, he's placed in a lot of different decks. My low tick for Farigiraf is probably one of the decks I would understand if you struggle a lot against, because it's a wall. That's what it is. And that's a deck you will have a hard time getting through. Well, I have your deck here. Personally, I would remove this, one boss, maybe 2 counter catchers actually. Cut 1 Janine for an extra NPP up. Actually, can I open as a PNG file? Yeah. Okay. Cerosics, you don't need. Might actually be easier if I copy the deck. Let's find your deck again. Tournaments, online, completed, Mojo's Dojo. Open in deck builder. Okay. So this one I would cut, this one, 2 of these, 1 of these, 1 of this. Then I would add that, cut that, find unfair stamp, team, rocket, find the right card actually. Probably add 2 of these and then cut the Pokemon League. Then Darumaka. Personally, I would run a 2-2 line. And then this is just me. I don't know how you like to play your decks, but I would like the Monkidori. Just a single Monkidori, because sometimes it can make the damage add up. This is how I would probably build it. That's without testing anything. And if you feel like you have a lot of trouble with the Raging Bull matchup, I will cut down to 1 Iono, free Ghost options is pretty good, especially if you most of the time come down like 1 price in the price race. Then you would prefer to have 1 counter catcher, 2 bosses. It's always better to have one of them as a, what is it called, item. Professor Research, I would add 1 off. Actually, let's go 2 Ionos. I would cut 1 Evo. Most of the matchups you don't need it. And then I would add the Toad School with 60 HP and the Toad Scroll. That's how I would run the deck. I know it seems weird that I don't have more Ghost than I have. But that's personally how I like to, I would think this would run best if we go into playtest. Let's say new game. Oh, okay, we have Sorua, we have Darumaka. First we can afford to lose. Okay, turn 1. We draw a boss. Okay, nothing happens. On turn 2, we most likely lose 1 price. Okay, that's fine. Into a discard. We send up Sora, Zorak, Damanitan, and Sorua. Ghost. Okay, now we... not really. Oh my god. post it. I would probably look into how the big players play Zoroark and take some inspiration from their deck lists. If we look at the Zoroark deck list I have right now, I'm not a big player, I don't say that. But that's run with Secret Box, 3 PP up, 2 Ents Castle, 2 Artisan. And how can we find the Zoroark? Well, we actually don't have any direct search for it. We don't have any direct search for Zoroark, which is for a reason. You don't really need to directly search out the Zoroark. If we go into test this deck, okay, let's test it. Let's show how it runs. Flip coin, tails. I know this is not a real player, this is just AI and they are not as good as you could hope they are, but it still shows how the deck runs. Okay, he goes first almost 90% of the time. Told you. Well, first hand. Oh right, I forgot about Cyrano. Use Cyrano instead. Cyrano is so broken in this deck. I totally forgot about that card. Cyrano makes you able to find free EXs. So this will be a regular turn 1. Play Artisan, play Buddy Puffin, find 2 Zoruas. Okay. Second Buddy Puffin. Artisan. Taramaka. Iono. So you have a new hand. Okay, so you have Secret Box, you have some energy. You don't mind energy hitting with discard, so that's fine. You have some cards you can discard here for a Secret Box playing next turn. So you have Secret Box as an option for next turn, which is something you need to keep in mind. In a real game you would most likely lose Reshiram here, which would be fine. Does it make sense, Ali? Or am I just speaking in wilderness right now? Here you discard Puffin, Turo. Turo is actually fine. I don't know. Cyrano. Ents PP up. Rigid Band. Ents Castle. Play Ents Castle. Use Cyrano. Find 3 Zorax. Boom. 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 Ents PP up. Start charging up 1 Zoroark. Now it has a Rigid Band. Can't be one-shotted. Okay, time to trade. Oh, that's with a Manatan. Okay, this scenario we will not get behind. Get rid of Defiance Band. Oh, well, we don't really need Mangidori right now. We can afford to send that to a discard. Get rid of that. Oh, Palpat. What do we have in the discard? Well, we have Serrano, Iono. Nothing we need right now. Let's don't think about that. Send up Zoroark. Here, because we have 1 Ents PP up, I will use Flame Body Cannon. So we can also take out 1 on the bench, deal 30 to the active. I would recommend you Go under limitless. Looks like you're quite a new builder. Look and Zorak. Copy the top deck, play with it, see what do you like, what do you don't like. Then change it afterwards you have played with it. That's how I would go around it. Take the top deck, play with it, see how does it feel. Okay, it feels nice, it has this and this going for it. I kind of like that. Okay, well, let's focus more on that then, and then focus less on the things you don't like. Cut the things you don't like, add more of the things you like. Like in this scenario, I have this sense of discard because I have Night Stretcher to find back. There's always a fine balance on how do you like your deck to work. If you're a new deck builder, I would always look, okay, how do the top players play this deck? If they play it a certain way, okay, there's probably a reason for it. What do I like about that way to play the deck? Find out what you like, what you don't like, change it after that. And now I don't want to play against this AI anymore, because this is getting boring. Was it this one? Yeah, this one. As you can see, I still miss a lot of cards for this deck, which is pretty annoying, but oh well. But yeah, that's how I would go around like building a new deck. Should we play more around with... Yeah, actually I want to play a little bit around with this. I like the new Grass Box deck, it seems fun. Let's play around with it. I have played some Tera Box, I still need some cards because my old Gardevoir is not working anymore, so... I forgot about the rotation. But for future streams I will probably find one deck, focus on that one deck for that stream. Only play that deck that stream. Go in depth with it, what works, what doesn't work, what should change, what won't I change, and also help you guys. But I would say go after one of the top players, look how do they build this deck. Ali, that's my suggestion to you. The top players are top players for a reason, so sometimes I also take the deck list from them and actually play in as they are. Sometimes I figure out down the road, okay, this doesn't work for me, or this I don't like, change that, to make it fit what I like to play. But usually I just actually start up with it. That's because this is my I am a reasonable newer, and there was a period where I didn't play as much as I do right now, so I didn't finish the passes. That's the reason I don't have more currency when I have. And the reason I don't open celebrations is because I have opened so much Shroud Fable in real life that that's just works best for me. I usually get like a few hundred when I open Shroud Fable, so yeah, this is not a hand I want to dump, so we are doing this instead, taking it slow. Oh yikes. See, this is a hand you don't like to like get rid of. I don't mind that I don't know. So yeah, that's actually the reason I have built a lot of decks and I haven't really gotten that much currency here lately. So that's why. 1 second. I'm back. Sorry for that, my mom just called real quick. Okay, so now we are set up. And this is quite a weird matchup, and I made a misplay because I was talking with my mom. Nah, let's just let that stay in the active. Even if it's die, I don't need it that badly, so. Alright, no worries, buddy. See ya. Also, this will probably be my last game because I don't have the entire day to stream, but I do have some time. And this game looks like it will be pretty easy. Yeah. Another KO. And I know my Ogerpon will one-shot most things, so that's the grass energy, so I also have my Toadstool. Like, this game is already over. I will play it out, but it's over already. You. Honestly, I don't need you that badly. Okay, so he has pitch up now. That's good for him. Why are you manually attaching, buddy? You have Charizard. Charizard deck should never manually has to attach. So my Ogerpon deals the same damage no matter what. It's only my Toadstool that varies, which is fine. Okay, let's use one Teal Dance. We should have game in hand, but I'm not sure. Can always be a little bit iffy in these late game scenarios. Because he takes out Toadstool, yeah. But Toadstool was also good, only good this one turn. In this specific matchup, like in usual matchups, it will be good the entire game, but that's still fine. I win. GG. Ended. GG. So yeah, but I think that will be it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. It was definitely fun. as always, to stream for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy that I'm getting more active with my content. I think next time we will look at the Zoroark deck, if I have the points for it. If not, we will look at something else. Like, there's a lot of decks to look at the moment, so hope you guys enjoy this stream. I definitely enjoy streaming for you guys, so see you guys next time, and peace out from here.